Hi, I'm Siddhartha Dash, or Sid Dash, and I'm the Chief Researcher at Chartis Research. I want to now congratulate Murex for their category win and their finishing number fifth in our QuantTech 50 research program. They have also won, as I mentioned, a category win in innovation in market risk, as well as solution category awards in analytics, book of records, and P&L analytics. For that, I'm interviewing Stéphane. Stéphane, could you
Yep.
introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Stéphane Remille, so I'm co-heading the product at Murex, and I'm very happy and thanks a lot for this award. So it's for us very important because analytics is a huge part of our R&D, as you know, and with a strong drive for innovation. So it's really rewarding here to get these awards from Chartis. So thanks a lot for that.
Thank you for being here. Very quickly, there are a couple of things I wanted to ask you. First of all, what trends are you seeing in the market risk area at the moment?
Yeah, so maybe I focus the answer to these questions on what's shaping the analytics space first, because and I can also bucket this answer in three parts with the business technology and of course AI. So as you know, we're working closely with our customers, and most of them today are looking for new growth areas. I can name a few like quantitative index strategies, cryptocurrencies, private credits, commodities, energy trading, carbon trading, security finance. So these are the kind of topics that are keeping us busy with them today, these days. Interestingly, they all come with their specific analytics challenges, with a very strong expectation also behind the scene. It's worth mentioning around model validation. So that's very interesting. Still on the business, maybe it's worth mentioning also what's happening on XVA. We have quite a few XVA customers now using Murex for their trading desks. And we've been quite impressed over the last years by the increased level of sophistication required by these desks. I'm thinking about sensitivities computation, more and more stress testing, P&L explain, which is putting quite strong requirements in terms of the infrastructure, which should be robust behind the scene to handle all these computations. And this is a good transition actually to the technology part of my answer, where, and I guess it will not be a surprise for you, we observe here an acceleration of the cloud adoption at our customers. And not only for hardware provisioning, facilitating the hardware provisioning, but also if we think really about the analytics space, about leveraging the elastic computing capabilities of the cloud to manage, if you want, the scale of the analytics workload that we observe today. And interestingly, customers on this side of things also are more and more keen on getting serviced these analytics through managed services. So accessing these cloud capabilities through services or the full software, which is software as a service by itself. And maybe to conclude on AI, so here it will again not be a surprise for you, but we are observing a wide scale adoption of large language model with mushrooming experiments on all business processes to try to boost the productivity of different operators and provide them copilots for their decision. But we are also looking at what quants are really doing and how they can leverage these new technologies. I'm thinking about deep edging, for example, which is a topic which we find extremely interesting. And in the last year, we've run a couple of surveys with customers. And maybe I'll conclude, and you will not be surprised if I conclude by saying that there is a clear momentum at customers around AI, but the full potential is clearly not unfolded yet at our customers.
Thank you. Thank you, Stéphane. That gives a very interesting perspective of the areas that you are investing in to address the increased sophistication and the challenges in the market. With that, Stéphane, I wanted to ask you a little bit around the investments that Murex is making in addressing some of the issues that you brought up, the market trends, as well as the increased sophistication in financial institutions that you see.
Yeah, so so clearly, as I was saying, we we are accompanying our customer very closely. And in all the areas I just mentioned, one of the priority in Murex has always been to provide our customers with the right catalog of instruments and analytics so that they can support their business growth. So in all the UIS, commodities, and so on, this is work we've been doing over the last months, and we continue doing with our customers. We've also completely revamped our model validation practices with the new governance, with strong efforts on documentation and tooling for our customers to speed up their model validation exercise and reduce their costs. On infrastructure, I will not detail everything that we've been doing, but maybe give you a few examples here. We have one customer these days, for example, running on a daily basis or FRTB IMA on 4 million positions. And it gives you an idea of the scalability of the platform these days to handle this kind of computations. And on XVA, we went even one step further because now we are proposing the full XVA solution as a service, meaning that the customers can have his Murex on-prem and in the SaaS running, and then fully delegate to Murex the operation on XVA computation, hardware provisioning, upgrades, and so on. And this is really a trend we are observing, that customers are more and more willing to delegate parts of these activities as a service, which we are now doing on the XVA space. And on AI, so as I was mentioning, it's really an interesting topic for us. We are very strong believer that this technology can be very transformative for capital markets. And as I was saying in my first answer, it's only the beginning. But we've started few R&D projects, one of which we've published a white paper last year, which I invite you to download and read, obviously, on the website. It's about accelerating the computation of derivatives with very complex models. The idea is simple. Implementation is not, but the idea is simple. It's to inject smartly, if you want, what our quants have been doing, injecting smartly within the model the neural network capabilities to speed up the calculation time. And we have very impressive factors that you will see in the white paper here. And it's really disruptive because you can now imagine working more in real time, working with more complex models, computing more sensitivities, more risk factors. And this also was mentioning not with an obligation to be acquiring the latest hardware also, which is very interesting for a large part of our customer base. And also, so we've started the work on deep edging now for quite a few months now. It's a really interesting topic. It can be very disruptive. So it's only the beginning here, but it's completely changed the paradigm, if you want, of how we see the models in the capital market, because you can start working in complete markets with integrating bid-ask spreads, transactions costs. You can even model the risk appetite of the trader, and you get the price and the corresponding edges. So it's very interesting, and maybe it could be in the coming years one of the next awards we'll have with Chartis. Who knows?
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. Thank you.